Alright, welcome back to my channel. We're going to take a look at this Zenith Radio, Allegro sound system by Zenith, whatever that means and entails. This is in for repair, servicing, whatever. The phono part does not function, the motor's stuck and the bladder was stuck. I added a little oil to make it spin again, but that needs to come out and fixed. I'm sure all the volumes and all these need to be cleaned. They're a little sticky. We're gonna power it on here and give it a quick assessment test of the radio. And I don't have an antenna or anything hooked up either, so we won't get nothing in the basement. But we can give it a initial test. This just comes off nicely, or it hinges up beautifully too. So we're just going to take it off for now to keep it safe from breaking. Okay, so this has been sitting with some oil, so it is pretty nice now, but I don't think the motor is going to work. When I did the auto, it just was so stiff. So some neat features about the thing on here is it actually has a weight adjustment on it for the tone arm, so you can get your, I don't have a scale, but so you can, if you're that kind of person that has to have perfect record stylus weight, it does have adjustments for it. It's a fairly nice record. He said the pickup worked, so we'll test that. The audio amp seems to work, radio works, that kind of thing. At least that's what he said. We'll give it a test. Where's the volume? Make sure it's not fully up before I do anything. Yeah, I heard a little bit of a spark out of the speaker. I guess we're picking up something down here, surprisingly. What are we on? We're on AM. I guess you would pick up some AM down here, maybe. Surprising. I can pick up anything. I don't even have an antenna on this thing. And we're in the basement.
You use this technique exactly what Derek showed.
Sounds pretty good.
Easier to clean. And
that's AM. FM only has one channel going. Interesting. On AM I hear both speakers. Is that because the balance is bad? No? We got lots of things. Okay, yep. So interesting. Let's go back to FM here. I didn't think I'd get anything in the basement either. Well, it was there. Oh, okay, that's what FM mute means. You just don't want to hear the static. But I'm not sure why this speaker isn't outputting on FM. Well, there's a little bit. It's pretty quiet. I wonder what that's about. That's too bad that it's got that issue. That is a fault of this radio. And probably take some pretty technical diagnosing for that. I'd probably need a schematic or something. Okay, so again, in this beginning of the video here, we're just assessing it, seeing what I need to do to it. So go under phone. Oh, it's got a little light there. Oh, now it's more louder. Okay. Now we have even stereo. So the switch is an issue. That's what's going on. All right, it works. Okay, just typical old stereo stuff. These all need to be cleaned and worked on. I'm surprised the volume's not super scratchy. Can't play any music because copyright, but anyway, seems all right. I don't have a good antenna, so I doubt they're stereo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the stereo. Okay, I'm probably gonna get in trouble if I play too much music. Let's go back to the phono, turn that up. Oh yeah, we got stereo pickup, left and right, I can hear both. Very, very sensitive stylus, just be very gentle with that. That is a good pickup. That's gonna play records really good. Again, if I turn this on, will I hear a motor? No, it's no hum or nothing. Other than, of course, I got freezer hum down here. Sorry about that. He said auxiliary works, tape. This needs work too, but he's not too concerned about the 8-track. I can see down in there that the pinch roller's got some tape on it, and it's just probably got a bad belt and who knows what. To get to this whole thing, I'm not really sure if this will come out and be easily serviceable or not. So I'm gonna turn it off. And we're gonna work on this part quick and see if it's a easy motor to lube up and clean and get going. Because the platter, it was stuck when I got it. You couldn't turn this at all. I put some oil down in there and just kind of worked it gently, and it came loose really nicely actually. So I'm thinking the motor will be about the same, and any of the mechanism will need, it's old grease. It's just kind of a problem with old record players if they're not been used in, well, this one's like 1970s or something. So who knows when it was last actually really used. I'm not sure how far to unscrew those. Should come out of here, hopefully. Or not. I'm not sure the serviceability of this thing. Normal record players, you just twist them and they come off. I'm not sure on this one. I may have to look up some service data. I'm just guessing on this thing. It'd be really helpful if the whole turntable just come out of there, because the bottom, I guess, does come apart. And then maybe I'll have to do that to see inside, because these don't come out. I think the things are supposed to turn. It's been a while since I worked on a record player. There's supposed to be like a little thing that goes in and hooks and holds it in place. It seems to like tighten the player down, as solid. So maybe I'm doing it the wrong direction. Springs nicely. I'm just gonna have to go the other route, I guess. I'm not sure. Never had this thing apart before. This is all different and experimental. Okay, well, let's unplug it and get it on a side maybe. I'm glad the audio amp seems to work, and it's really just switches that are the problem. There's some work to be done on the back too. I can pull this stuff apart here and get it out of the way so we're not doing anything. And I had to cut and splice. This thing has RCAs for speaker output. It's kind of old school, so I had to make it work for these speakers. Those little Cambridges are good test speakers for sure. They sound pretty good for little bitty bookshelves. Let's see here. I'm probably going to have to reset my camera up so you guys can see the inner workings or something, or the back side of this. Horrible view, I know, but it's on its side here. And we got, I'm just gonna have to take the bottom off to get to those clips and get the record player out so I can service the record player. There's a ton of these little 1/4-inch driver type screws that I think are just going into, well, it looks like little metal clips actually. Nice little screws. So I'm gonna I just show this quick because I'm not going to make you watch all the screws being pulled out and this cover coming apart. Not entirely sure how many I have to take out to get it, but we're going to try to get it out of here and open the underside and get a good look underneath. All right, we're going hand mode just to show the insides, and it's pretty complex inside here. Even the radio part is just going to be interesting. There's just a lot to this thing, and it's usually more than I like to tackle for repairing for somebody, but I just couldn't resist because it's such a unique radio. It's very compact in here. Can't see a lot, just the circuit boards and just kind of the way everything's made. It's pretty nice looking. There's that clip, the clips I need to pop loose and get this out of here. These little things need to be re-lubed a little bit and get the old grease free. Mainly I think getting in here just so I can pull the turntable out and get that working. That's the first thing to fix. So some of it runs a little warm maybe. Could it use some fresh solder touch up? Maybe. The camera definitely can see issues with solder better than my eyes. It looks okay. Probably wouldn't hurt to touch it up. Anything that's runs warm. I don't know if I showed the amplifier cage back here much, but it's kind of got quite the amplifier. Nice big heatsink. Tough to see through the cage, but there it is. So just being in awe of how beautiful everything is made in here. This motor here is going to be probably have to be disassembled. We'll see if I can just oil it easily or not. We'll see. All right, enough babbling on that. I gotta put you guys down and get these little clips figured out to get this turntable out of here, and then unplug everything, because I'm sure it looks like everything can be unplugged and serviced. Generally, a lot of this older stuff was meant to be worked on a little bit. The radio kind of almost looks like a car deck, an old Ford radio or something. I don't know, just as an example. It's all encased. Hard to see actually, I'm wrong. This is the 8-track. Totally wrong. Looks like a car radio. This is the radio right here. And hopefully I can get in and maybe I just gotta spray those switches from the top. I really don't want to try to figure out. It looks like there's screws from the top to get the radio out. Again, I don't have a service manual in possession right now to do anything, but I think the radio part seems to function great. Other than those switches and capacitor stuff, there's no hum from capacitor hums, so the filters are good. He's had it running before, so yeah, maybe the capacitors are already reformed. We got our pretty chunky little power supply, whatever you want to call it, transformer. There we go, hidden in there too. So all right, enough of my blabbling. That's my new word, I guess. Look at that little guy here. This is the headphone jack in. I don't know if I showed that on camera either. They put on the bottom of this unit the switch for the main and remote speakers and the headphones. All right, there we go. Tearing that out. This will be out in a minute. Okay, things to note, because I didn't know that earlier here already, but these little clips are they flip up. That's what I figured. I was hoping there was a way you could do it from the top, but I was wrong. So flip that so you can pull it out. The other side's hiding under this board, but Zenith in their design, and I don't know if I'll be able to show it on camera, there's a big hole so you don't have to take this chunk of metal out to get to. You just slide it out and it looks like it'll come out as a whole piece. So thank you for whoever thought that through. And here we go. This is grease. You should be able to wipe it with your finger. It does not move. It is literally turned to, like, I think rubber. I mean, this should all just easily wipe away. So this poor turntable is going to need some serious cleaning. Like even this little drip here. Oh, that's from me. Okay, that's from when I was dripping oil. I was going to say, that would be pretty gross. But yeah, there's a lot of that sticky grease in here. That's a little more wipeable. But yeah, I'm going to have to take probably some alcohol to it and try to loosen it and clean it and add some fresh grease on things, because we want this turntable to function beautifully. And the furnace kicked on, so I'm going to stop right here and take the turntable out. Alright, turntable's out of there. Not too hard, other than a lot of screws to take the back cover off. And then got the one that you have to pop the clip and pull through, you lift up. And see what I mean by thank you engineers for let's put a bigger hole here so you don't have to take this out and pop that clip. The clip can stay and it clicks in. It's wonderful. And having the turntable out, we get to have a look at some of those hot spots. We got some power resistors here that you can tell definitely run a little warm, but they're high enough in the deal. Here's their probably filter caps. They look pretty good. Is that a fuse in those tubes? Probably. That'd be a fun fuse to get. Here's another big filter. So we get a quick look in here anyway. There's our amps. You can see the power amps. Doesn't want to focus very well, but some nice nifty little transistors, and I see adjustment pots for probably biasing even. I ain't gonna mess with that kind of stuff. That's beyond my tech level. That's something like Shango would screw around with, right? Probably not. If it's working, you don't need to. If the channels sound balanced and wonderful, yeah, don't mess with the amp if you don't have to. Could it use fresh capacitors? Probably, but I'm not going to screw with that. I would have to order all the replacement stuff, and this would take forever to restore. That's not what the customer wanted, so I'm not going to go with that. I would love to completely restore this wedge. It's just so different and unique for sure. Okay, back to turntable land here. So we have to deal with dirty, dry, sticky old grease. It would be a nightmare to pull all this apart and try to get it back together properly. So I'm just going to try to clean everything I can and spray with fresh grease in places that I can get. The motor will have to probably come out. That's just a given, and I'm not sure how to get that out yet. I haven't really assessed it. I really don't know, actually. Looks like the platter probably has to come off. And it's probably, is that riveted on there? If that is, that's unfortunate. Let me get my little light somewhere and I can get in there. Yeah, those are, I think, riveted, but it probably is bolted under the platter. So I'm probably gonna have to remove the platter to get the motor out, and that way I can service it properly. Because it'd be difficult to try to pull it apart on the table. Like, you know, they're nuts and bolts and you gotta pull it apart to get it properly serviced. So platters are usually held on with like a C-clip or something. So we'll turn this back over here. I'm sorry that's upside down, but made in Great Britain. A BSR turntable, not a Zenith. Even though they got their name all over it. So I'm not sure. Actually, if I look down in there with the camera and stuff, I can see the clip. You might have to remove this piece, which is probably glued on. Looks like it's kind of held in by the rubber. Amazing what a little bit of oil will do to that grease, get it all nice and smooth again. Looks like somebody played with some 45s a lot. The little adapter sliding on there. And here's the little, get pretty good close-up of everything. Adjustment for your weight. Plus or minus. I think I'll just leave it where it was, kind of in the middle anyway, because I don't have a way to do that. So, enough hand motion here. You get this off and get the C-clip off, get the platter off it, which since it's oiled up should be easier to get off. And I will come back when I carefully get this apart. I don't want to wreck anything. We're going to clean. Everything's going to be clean. This thing's going to look nice when the customer gets it back. That's where I want to be with it. I want it to just look nice and function properly. Looks like I might have to try to figure out how to get the radio out and so I can service those really good. And I didn't see much lighting. And it could be my really bright light here too. So those might be burned out, and I'd like to replace that too, if it's easy enough to do. If I have to go nuts about it, I may not. And I think these do pop off, but I don't know. I want to be really careful with it, not break anything or mark it up. Okay, that piece does pop out really easily. The rubber actually holds it in there. That's a nice design too. I'm gonna flip this over when I put it back together because that's a little rough looking. But yeah, it's just a little C-clip, so pop that off and then the table should come up and off and we can get to the motor bolts hopefully. All right, so the clip is removed. Just a simple little clip. It's kind of a pain in the butt to put back on, but the little clip, and I got dog fur everywhere, so I apologize. Anyway, yeah, so just get the clip off. And now, if it was stuck, lube it up really good with some nice, like motor oil. I'm talking like electric motor type of oil. This is kind of the stuff I use. It's got a nice little spout for getting into places you need. It can be anything like that. A type of, not a penetrant necessarily, but a very thin, like, I don't know, electric motor type oil is what I call it. I don't know what exactly to use it, but it works good. And that will loosen up that grease. Or if you can't get that, use like a little heat gun carefully and warm it up a little bit without melting the rubber or anything. I'm gonna have to do this off camera, but it kind of is loose. I need both hands to pull this off. Okay, I have to pause you guys. All right, so back off. That was a little stubborn. That grease, my oil didn't quite get to everything. Really a tight fitting deal, and we'll definitely have to clean it good. All this sticky old grease that has to come apart, everything has to be cleaned. This shaft is a little crusty, and yeah, we'll get some stuff lubed up. And of course this motor doesn't use screws. Got a bunch of more little C-clips. Yay. So we'll get that out. Here's your beautiful phono pickup wiring. We got through a little spring even. Very nicely made. All this is gummed up too, because it yeah, everything's gonna have to be serviced. It's just a tedious little process on the record player. Probably the longest part of this whole video will be trying to get this part all cleaned and lubed and working properly. Let's see, I do see a little bit of a wear spot on the roller. There we go. You can see a little bit of a detent there. A couple of them actually. So it's going to make a little bit of rumbling. Must not have been in park like it is now here. Although the platter will push it somewhere. So, okay, well, more C-clip removal. And yeah, I suppose we'll do. Is that mounted to the motor, or is that just up here? Okay, that should stay, I think. I don't know. I haven't done a record player in a while. Haven't needed to. My other ones have worked so well. I just leave them alone. But this one's got some solid grease, that's for sure. Get a bunch of paper towels, cotton swabs, and alcohol, and just start cleaning and lubing and get everything to work flawlessly, because that's what the customer wants, is a really good working record player, and I'll do my best to get it working for them. Yeah, without damaging too much. That's the goal. Well, now that I got just the motor out of the turntable, I can service and get the motor to be, it's pretty stiff. I can turn it with my fingers, but it needs to be so free you can just spin it and it spins a while. So the grease in it and oil, whatever they use for lubrication, is also dried up. So sometimes you can get in there with some oil and it'll free it up, but I tried that already and it's not helping, so I need to get it apart more. Unfortunately, so that means taking apart the covers and getting to the bearings, stuff like that. A little bit difficult, but if you're, take your patience, take your time, whatever. A guy can lubricate those bushings and get these to spin really nice again. All right, with a little bit of patience, they do come apart, and the grease was definitely strong with this one. This part spins now. It was stuck on there pretty good too, but just keep, guys got to just use oil and cleaner, and if I can get down in there, you can see that I gotta try to clean some of that old grease out of there. It's pretty rough stuff, and get it to spin nicely again. The motor is the main heart to this darn thing. It's got to work good first, and then we'll get to the whole like auto changing stuff and everything, so that all that mechanism can move. That'll be some thick grease too, probably, but a little bit at a time. I'm getting there. Just takes quite a bit of time. Okay, not fully reassembled. The pup has to come say hi, apparently. Fully reassembled yet, but when you get everything cleaned and lubed on these, they should spin like that, free and continuous, not just barely spinning it. This motor should work really nice now. It's got fresh grease in the bushings, and I don't know how long that'll last in life, but hopefully a while, and the customer will get some use out of this thing. And okay, just the note for that: must spin nicely. That's gonna work good. All right, nice and lubed, spins really nice, freely. Everything's put back. Insert your shaft jokes here, but that's what it should be able to do if it's properly lubed and put together right. You should be able to just freely spin it and freely move it around. So there we go. Now I'm going to clean this little switch up a little bit, because I see a little bit of oxide on there, and reassemble everything on this deck here, and then we'll get to cleaning the other part of it. Well, on to the next fun part of this bit. Brought this to my workbench because I need to use the heat to soften up the grease, because this poor thing is so, it takes an awful lot of effort to move it, and it doesn't move. So I'm going to heat it up, and hopefully the grease will soften up enough to take that off, that whole gear there, and get underneath and oil up and clean and get that sticky old grease out of there. There's a lot of it. So that's where I'm at with this little turntable now. Well, that was a treat to get off. Even with heat, it didn't want to come up. I had to really carefully pry on each side and work it, but you can see all that old grease is just gummed up, dry. It helps some good thin oil get it on that grease, so it can break up the thickness a little bit. Or a good solvent would work too, but I like oil because it's a little less stinky or, I don't know, harsh to work with. So I'm going to clean it all up with a swab and get some fresh grease on everything here. Hopefully get the automatic part working properly. It'd be nice for the guy to stack some records and have it working fully, other than just one at a time. If I didn't fix this part, I got the motor part working and it would probably play. But it's nice to have everything work right, and that's the goal for this video. Alright, I don't have everything on there now, but fresh grease, everything cleaned now. It works much better. It's loose the way it's going to be. I got to put the bearing back on here, but I was just seeing how nice this is. How it should come on and off. Really nice. But that old grease is something else. Reminds me of old like fryer grease. Real thick, rubbery, kind of has the same color too, that yellow. So who knows what kind of grease they used, but it's old original 70s grease, so what do you expect? It's going to be dry and hard. Yeah, alright. Let's get that little bearing put back on. I cleaned it out best I can. I can't get all the grease out of there, but it's going to have all new fresh grease in this platter. And this thing's going to probably work so nice and smooth. I can't really do much about the roller, and it's a couple little dents in there. I don't think anybody will really notice. Hopefully it won't affect it too bad. I can feel it if I turn it. Maybe I could heat it up a little bit, but it's so old and brittle. I don't want to risk anything. I'll clean it up with some alcohol and get the rubber grip back maybe or something, and that's about the best I can do for it. It's old. It'll be in pretty good shape when I'm done, but it's not going to be perfect because of everything, but darn near, I think. It's just, see, when you leave it on, if you left it in on position in storage with the platter on here, it's going to stay on the shaft there. So when you're storing your record players, make sure they're off, and you'll save your roller. Alright, well, this is all serviced and spins beautifully now. I'll clean this up a little bit. The ring goes right here, so any of this crust can just be fine. Somebody used like a double-sided tape or something. It's just a beauty ring, give it a little look. Not super critical that it has to be there. I was going to switch this around, but it's kind of a brushed aluminum, and then it's not brushed on the other side, so it just kind of looks dumb. So we'll just leave it the way it was. It's just got some use on it, that's all. Still got a little cleaning. I got a few things working good on it now. Yeah, so lots of labor to clean old grease up, lube it up, get it smoothly operational again. I can't wait to get it plugged in and see how well it spins the record. So that's the next step, is putting that back in there, and we'll give it a go. And it kind of sort of put back together anyway. That's there. I don't have the bottom on right now. I'm just going to do some testing in case I got to do more work on it. But that's so nice and smooth now. And of course it wants to do the auto thing here, which does work now, and I think the motor will be able to do it. Hopefully. We'll see. So I got that off. It needs a good cleaning yet. It's just kind of gross. These are lubed and sprayed, so we should get decent quality out of them. My throat. So it's powered up, I think. Yep. Just can't really tell. And I think got probably one bulb out, but man, to change one of those, I don't know if I should. It's kind of got to pull the radio out to get to them darn things. Main thing right now is just see if the turntable does anything. Go to phono. There we go. It never had any spinach at all. So you can hear lump, lump, lump. Yeah, those little spots on the roller. Can't really do enough about it. I don't have a parts unit to change it out, so might hear that in the playing of the audio, unfortunately. We'll see. Let's stop that and put that record that he included on there. Yes, my pile of media. This, of course, will be copyright, so clearly can't play it, but I can play a clip of it. So, I still hear the speakers, I do. Yeah, you can hear the lumping. Oh, wow, okay. Clearly we don't have enough weight on the arm or something. Alright, so there's that. Oh, that was a lot of work for a record player that doesn't work great. See what I can do with adjusting the weight and see if it'll stay on there. The needle weak on it, I don't know. I'm trying to do what I can for this guy, but yeah, that lumping bugs me. That's too bad. Anyway, let's adjust it and try it again. It sort of works. Careful about copyright because this song is definitely copyright, but let's do an auto record change here. See how well it does it. It should be able to. Drops it. There we go. It's gonna work. You hear the lumps? And there we go. We got Eagles record going. So I can't keep playing it. But hey, there you go. Finally got it to work good. It's unfortunate about the roller though. The sound does transfer into the head. And the guy has to have it spring tension quite a bit. This needle isn't quite really pointy for modern records. This is an older record, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll have to take and adjust that needle a little bit, I think, because, you know, I've been banged around a lot. But it's working. That was the goal of this video. It's as far as I'm going to be able to do, because I got to continue on to other things. And yeah, my camera's got grease on it. Shiny and horrible. But there's a servicing of a Zenith, technically BSR record player for this beautiful little wedge unit. I like it a lot, and hope you guys liked it a lot. It's a good thing to mess with, and I got more to do on it. More cleaning, and I'd like to fix the bulb, but I don't think he's too terribly worried about it. I'd love to fix the 8-track, but that's a whole nother world. Let's see if we can get in here and see there we go. The roller's got like tape wrapped around it and stuff, so it may not be repairable, this unit, but hey, it got that far. It technically plays records. I mean, you don't really notice the roller so much if you got the music cranked up. It kind of hides it. I don't know. If it was me and I wanted to seriously use this instead of just nostalgia's sake, of which I think is what the guy's going to be anyway, I would find and hunt down another turntable of this era, another Zenith BSR unit, whatever, and see if I could find another roller that wasn't bad. Or there's things you can try, like boiling water or other things to soften it and reshape it. Maybe just using it, it'll go back to normal. I don't know. But for the most part, the auto works now, and it plays and it sounds. I don't have a app right now to test the speed, but it's got to be close because the voices sound right. So I don't have any other records to test on here other than these, so I suppose I could speed it up here. Yeah, it's definitely got super speed. Probably still get copyright off of that. Anyway, hope everybody enjoyed this mess. It's been a long video, and if you stuck with me that long, I appreciate it. Do the normal YouTube stuff. like and share, whatever. Thanks for watching.